Hey, thanks for dropping by to the Planners on Purpose podcast, created by Naomi Tucker, CMP. Now, this space is for the event planners to encourage and empower you so that you can fully live your life on purpose. So before we dig in, please take a moment to subscribe so you get future shows. Now, here she comes, your host, Naomi.
Hi, everyone. This is Naomi Tucker. Welcome to the Planners on Purpose podcast. I hope you're doing well today, as am I, and that you're moving into the new year strongly and enjoying the journey of a fresh slate. Thank you so much for being here. For those that do not know me, I am here to help you release your burnout, prevent burnout, stress, and overwhelm in your life, and step into more freedom, more productivity, and just more ease in your planning. So that is what I'm here for. I'm helping you to live your life on purpose, is what I call it, which really just means to be intentional, to develop self-mastery, to be confident in the vision and the goals that you have set for your life. And when you have that, I just say, let's be a force in moving forward to keep it. That's what I call a Planners on Purpose. And if that is you, welcome. And if it isn't you, welcome. I'm just so happy to have you here. I wanted to talk today about your event planning career goals. Do you have event planning career goals for 2024? I know that every time I've led teams at the top of the year, pretty much, or the end of the previous year, I always like to have a conversation to say, what are you looking at for the next year in terms of your professional development, in terms of the goals that you have set for yourself? Because I truly want to help you get to what you want to do. So that will be similar to what this conversation is. And so my question for you is, what is your next event planning career goal? What is something that you're looking to do in the next year? Really, while you're listening to this podcast, I encourage you to think big about what you want to do. This isn't going to be the year that we just stay stagnant and say things like, oh, I really wanted that promotion, but I don't really think I'm going to go for it. Or I've always wanted to get that designation, but I just don't have time. I'm just way too busy. Those excuses have to go out of the window come this year. We definitely need to be more intentional, more purposeful about what we want to create in our lives. And it all just starts with the vision. So that's my question. What is your next event planning career goal? And to help you with it, I wanted to give you some examples of what those goals would be, or just what could be an event planning career goal, because it seems as though many people have a question on, well, where do I go from here? What are the possibilities for me when it comes to event planning careers and careers in event management? So we'll go through some of those examples, and hopefully that will help you in determining what you really would like to establish for a goal for this year. Now, when we think about goals, I just want to give the reminder that our goals have to be SMART goals. Now, I know they don't really have to be SMART, but I do really like SMART goals and using the SMART goal concept in general, because it helps you fine tune what your goal is so that you can really have a good chance of moving forward in order to obtain them. So SMART goals are goals that are specific, they are measurable, they are attainable, and they're relevant, and they're also timely. And so if SMART goals are something that you have not heard of before, I would suggest rewinding this, listening to it again, writing it down. And then as you're listening and me telling you about some of the different areas where you could consider a goal for this year, definitely run it through that filter. And I will definitely give you a few examples here along the way in order to help you. So are you ready? I wanted to give you some examples of what event planning career goals can look like for you. And after that, we'll get into some ways in which we can move forward from this session. So the first area that I wanted to talk about is promotions, right? Many times we have been in a particular area in our business or in our departments. However, your company is structured, perhaps you want to look at getting some type of promotion. Let's say you're an event coordinator and maybe you want to be more of an event lead. Perhaps you are in management, but you want to take a step up and be a director or a VP. Perhaps you are looking to do something different, maybe shift into another area altogether. Those are different ways that you can shift within your organization and provide you with a fresh new look to your career. So consider that if that's something that you has been stirring inside of you for some time, and this is the year for you to really move forward in making that happen, that might be a goal that you might want to set for yourself. Another thing is perhaps even having a specific salary goal. Perhaps you're making a certain salary, but you want to put your hat in the ring for a larger salary, either via promotion or it's just simply an ask that you're going to do because let's say you've been doing some extra things. That also could be a goal for you. So take a look at that. Perhaps a promotion or a salary increase is something that you might want to do. The next area where you can have a really great event planning career goal is looking for something new, a new job, for instance. Maybe you're in a situation where you need to move around. That can come by way of many different things. You could not be aligned to the company culture anymore, or you just simply want a change in how you work or how much you work. Or you want to try something new. You simply want to expand your horizons. And maybe that means looking at another company or another line of work where you can really learn more because that company does it differently. They have different types of events, or instead of doing corporate events, you want to move into doing festivals. Whatever that may be, that might be something that might be a goal for you, is moving into something completely new. Another thing that could fit into this area is maybe you want to be an entrepreneur and start moving in that direction to having your own company. If that is the case, then that's wonderful. Maybe moving towards that is a career goal. Now, I want to pause because many times when we look at these things, we look at it like it's some big, lofty goal and that it will be really hard for us to do within that year. Many times these things can be a vision for what we want to do, but there's so many different steps to get us there. So as you're thinking about this, just think about it with an open mind. If it's something you definitely want to consider, Rome wasn't built in a day, so we're not asking you, or I'm certainly not asking you to do this in a day, but it definitely is something that you can envision for yourself, envision for your life, and then make intentional steps in order to make that happen for yourself. So I wanted to say that because I know sometimes when we talk about goal planning, it can be overwhelming. And if you were here for my last episode, there is a such thing as getting so burned out with all these New Year's resolutions or all these goals. We want you to take it with an open mind, have fun with these goals. Try not to put yourself into a box where you must have these completed. It definitely is just aspirational, and we'll just set steps to do it. If it's 2024 that it happens, amazing. Some of these goals may take years in the making. So it's definitely just something that we want to help inspire our steps as we go through the year. Now, speaking of inspire, my next area is an inspirational goal. Maybe that's something that you want to have for your event planning career. You may be asking, what is an inspirational goal? Well, Maybe you are looking to make an impact in a bigger way. And that can mean a lot of things. Perhaps you want to lead the conversations in sustainability, or you may have a message of influence that you want to bring to the event industry or even another industry. Maybe you love a particular technology or tool and you want to be an expert in that tool and bring some of that knowledge to the event industry. Those are some of the inspirational goals that one may have. And of course, it has a whole other set of steps to get there, but maybe that is something that you would want to do. And I think that's absolutely amazing if it is. Next, I have learning and development. This is such a huge area because many times what we want to do is we want to improve in some way. And the ways that happens for us, because we're always expanding, we always like to grow, especially if you are a growth mindset person, which I am. So I'm assuming if you're here and if you're listening to this podcast, you love learning, you love growing, so you are a growth mindset person. Learning and development is huge because it allows you to expand your horizons. So this could be things like attend conferences. Maybe you know that you want to attend a conference this year and you want it to be associated with, maybe it's an industry organization that you're a member of, right? So maybe it's attend a conference for 2024 and meet 2 people, right? Or attend 3 conferences. Whatever it is, definitely make sure that you have a specific actionable goal that aligns with this. Other things that fall into learning and development are industry chapter events or obtaining an industry designation. You know that I'm really big on that. The most popular one is the Certified Meeting Professional designation. It's also called the CMP with Planners on Purpose. We do have a study group that's actually launching here very soon. And that is something that you can be a part of if you are in the process of wanting to test and certify for this designation. So that is most popular one. However, there are other industry designations for those that already have their CMP. Perhaps you want to get your CMP Fellows credential or designation through the Events Industry Council. And that is a newer designation that has come across for those that are more tenured CMPs. So you can take a look into that. And maybe that's something that you would like to do. Also, the CMM, Certified Meeting Management designation, is another one. Many people want to go back to school and perhaps do a master's degree either in hospitality, or many people like to do master's degree in marketing. Definitely going to school, getting some type of certification, 4-year degree, looking at what the options are in your area or online in order to advance your knowledge and advance the tools that you have in your toolkit for your career. Other designations are the CEM and the CSEP. There are so many, but those are a few that definitely kind of come to my mind. Definitely there are others, but if learning and development is something that you definitely want to track towards, perhaps attending conferences, gaining a designation, expanding some of your event planning courses and certifications are something that would work for you. So these are just different areas, and I just would advocate to not wait to make plans. Start now by just moving in the smallest way to just identify, if anything, one thing. Identify just one thing that you would like to do for your personal or your professional world this year. So if that's obtain a promotion, then let's just work on that promotion for this year. Me explaining all of these different areas doesn't mean that you have to have one in each area. Although I know that some of the high achievers out there will say, oh yeah, I'm going to do it all. But it doesn't mean that you have to. I would just say to make your plans now, because what you want for yourself definitely does matter. And you are working for organizations, or maybe you're even running a business that there are going to be other goals and objectives that are going to be laid at your feet that you probably don't have an option in doing, right? Those are just some things that are just going to come your way because you're working in an organization. Maybe your leader or the owner of the company has certain goals for their company. And then as it trickles down, you'll definitely have some of those goals on your plate. And we know that that's going to happen, but definitely don't put your personal career on hold while you're attending to all of that. I would just say, have you on the list as well. And if that means you want to go to one conference a year, then make that happen for yourself. And if that means you've been putting that CMP on hold for the longest time, and now you definitely want to make it happen, then let's do that too. Now, why set these goals? Well, you set these goals because it helps you to be able to measure your progress. So when you have a SMART goal, that is a goal, like I mentioned, that is definitely specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's relevant, and it's timely. So if you're looking to get a promotion and perhaps you're a meeting coordinator and you want to go to a event lead position, what you possibly could say is that I would like to obtain an event lead position by December 31st of this year. So it's relevant because you currently are an event coordinator looking to be an event lead. It's measurable because you're going to measure if you have that promotion by the end of the year. That means you've obtained it or not. It's actionable because you're giving yourself time to be able to make that happen for yourself. You have plenty of time to figure out what are the steps that's going to help you be more desirable for that promotion. Again, like I said, it's relevant, and then it's also very timely because you have enough time to be able to complete the goal. So that is how you would really think about each and every one of these specific goals. And when you have that in place, you do get some increased motivation in what you're currently doing. And that's very exciting because now you have that you want to get, let's say, an event planning designation. And perhaps you're saying, well, I want to get it, but I still have some things to do. So I want it to be done by March of 2025. I think that's absolutely great because you are being realistic about your goal to make it more relevant to you. And that's just one of the letters in SMART goal to make that happen. So I would just say, take a look at the goal that you're looking to do. Make sure that you have a reasonable amount of time in order to make that goal, and definitely put a date on it that you would want it to be completed. It's okay if dates have to shift because life does happen, but definitely make sure that you have that, and it helps you to be able to drive yourself towards your goals. And it's very special because it's a goal that you want for yourself. So that's why we do it. And, don't wait. Make your plans now. Make those small moves to make things happen. Typically with all of these goals in your event planning career goals, it's really helpful for you to just be out there networking because there's so many people that have maybe the same goal in mind as you. And also, it's just nice to be expanding your network. So regardless if you are looking for a promotion, looking for a new job, you want to make a bigger impact, or you want to learn and develop, all of those things, you will meet people. So networking, build your network every day. Try to reach out to at least 10 people a day. And that's going to not just help you continue to expand and grow. If you're attending industry conferences, start researching the conference that you would like to go to. And how you would do that is maybe even start at the industry organizations that you're a part of. And if you aren't a part of those, just Google event industry conferences that could basically help you with what you want to do, right? There's some major conferences that are out there that definitely everybody knows about. They'll probably come to the top of the list that you can just attend, meet great people, and get wonderful education, and also connect with vendors as well. If you want an industry designation, again, narrow it down to which one that you want to do. Do some research before taking action, because with many of the industry designations, there is quite a bit of pre-work and experience that you need in order for you to apply. So take heart when doing that, because many times, I know when I first got my CMP, I didn't have enough of the points that I needed. So it took some time for me to get those before I could actually submit an application. So definitely give yourself some grace with that, and make sure that you track that and do what you need to do in making those steps towards your goal. Your time starts now, and more than half of the people that make New Year's goals or make goals at the top of the year, they drop what they intend to do within the first month. But this doesn't have to be you. In fact, by shifting and doing just one thing from this list, just even writing down the goal and even maybe doing just one thing in favor of your goal is going to put you far ahead from where you were last year, right? Because last year you possibly did not have a particular goal and have not moved toward it. This year, we're going to make things happen. Now, in order to accomplish these goals, you are going to have to keep yourself accountable. So accountability is one of the final pieces of the puzzle here in order to ensure that you're able to continue to move forward and continue to put in steps towards your goal. And to do this, you need to put these things in your planner, in your calendar, check in on your goals every month or every week, however that looks for you, so that you can give yourself some accountability. Now, if you know that you being accountable for things probably isn't going to work, then have some additional support. Perhaps there is a friend or an industry friend, a leader, maybe a colleague that can help you, support you, and check in with you to see how you're tracking towards that goal. You can also get support in a coach like myself. We can meet periodically and create your goal plan, set a plan of action in place, and have regular check-ins. If this is something you're interested in and would be very helpful for you, I'll be happy to discuss this with you on a purpose call. The details are in the description. I'll leave that link there. Just reach out and we can just definitely talk about your goals for this year. This is just a free call just to see where you're at. And after the call, if it's something that you want to have some additional support for the year, then I think that would be wonderful. So if you're listening to this and if you want to get clear on your goals for 2024, I do invite you to get on a purpose call with me, and I can help you just ensure that you are really good and set and you're moving in the right direction this year. And I'll help you also give you some tips to structure yourself for success, and I'll do that for you in this year. So thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. I look forward to the next one. And until then, cheers to your event career goals for this year, and stay on purpose.
Well, that wraps it up for this episode. If you enjoyed the conversation, hit the like button and tell us how much you enjoyed the show by leaving a message in the comments. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.